folks. Um, I don't have a lot of voice right now, so I'm going to do the best I can. Um, but I have a little bit of voice back, and that is a pretty big deal. So I wanted to make this video because I started a new treatment today that has made a really big difference already. And what happened was I had a throat situation. It seemed at first like an allergy, like an allergic reaction to something um, 2 weeks ago. And I took some steroids for it, as I usually would. And that died it down for a couple of days and it kind of came back. And then it kind of came back more. But I was also, and I had some very severe dizzy spells for a few days. Um, but I attributed that to I was traveling pretty extensively at that time, and nothing was really in my control in my environment, and it was pretty rough few days. And but then I got settled in to a destination, and that ended up being the beginning of what I could recognize as COVID. I would say now that the throat thing started the COVID, that the COVID had different iterations to it, different pieces of it, that it would kind of do something severe and then lay low, and then do something else severe and then lay low. And then once it got into the respiratory area, it really became a severe, or it was persistent. I've had more severe sinus infections before, but it was real persistent. And I lost my voice about a week ago. So it's been really tricky. And the herbs that I usually use that have worked for every single time I've had COVID in the past just didn't do it this time at all. They've been working a little bit less and a little bit less, but I've chalked that up to just maybe the herbs are getting older on my shelf, which could be. But this time they really just didn't work. I've also used the Boiron cold and flu version in the United States, and that has worked for me for my COVID. I don't know if it works for other people or not, but when I get it, it does knock it right out. But because I didn't know I had COVID all those days before when it was a throat situation, I really didn't do the prophylaxis in time or in the amount that I usually would. Um, so this is the first time I'm speaking in about 2 weeks. Um, but the reason I wanted to make this video was because I started something um, that someone gave me called CDS today. I'm not really sure what it is, but it was real helpful. I know it's legal, but that's all I know. And I know that it was very helpful. My voice came back. Um, I've been on it. I've been taking just a little tiny bit once an hour for the last several hours, and really 20 minutes in. I mean, I went from deep, deep pain for, well over a week now, and deep, persistent sinus issues, deep, persistent, very dark colored mucus, to not, I have not had to clean my nose in many hours now. Um, After many days of needing to do a nasal rinse, every hour or two, just to kind of keep up. So, I just wanted to share that. I don't know if this will continue to be something that continues to get me better or not. The reason I tried it was because I was taking some other medication I don't think it's legal everywhere. It's legal where I am, but the ivermectin, um, and I was having to take quite high doses of that to get relief and to keep ahead of the viral load. And that was finally working. I was finally ahead of it. But I have noticed that if I go too high in a dosage, it's why I take a little bit at a time and not just one big amount at a time, is because it does have an ocular side effect. And if you take too much, you can do damage to your eyes, that can be permanent um, if you were to take too much. So I'm always careful to take just a little bit, a little bit, a little bit at a time to see how much exactly I require. So, but I ended up having to take so much, even in those little bits, um, that last night I was having even sensitivity in the dark. It was almost more sensitivity in the dark than sensitivity in the light, because I was seeing like haze in the dark and I was seeing like patterns in the dark. And I mean, they weren't like hallucinatory. I knew they weren't real or anything, but it was really bothersome. And even like closing my eyes, I would see patterns that, like this morning in the dawn light, I would open my eyes and be kind of fine, but close my eyes and there would be all these patterns that would be um interrupting, trying to sleep and so forth. So it was because that was happening, and because I was like, oh, well, I've had 2 days of progress because of the ivermectin, but now I can't use the ivermectin, so I don't have anything left to use. And thankfully, um, my friend was able to share this with me. So um, anyway, I hope that it's just one more tool to kind of have in your toolbox. Obviously you should do what works with you and your doctor, and my doctor is supportive of what I do, but my doctor is not your doctor, and your body is not my body. So I hope that's helpful. You can probably tell I'm having some brain fog and still some kind of breathing fatigue. But and I cut my hair because I was in so much pain that was all I could control on my body. And so I ended up cutting my hair. It looks better on the camera than the long hair did, though. So I guess that's something. Um, so I hope that helps. My stomach has been um, a little bit unstable this afternoon, but I think that's because I've been able to eat more things, more kinds of things. And again, I mean, this was not happening. I was having to eat kind of full-time cottage cheese and berries, and that was pretty much all I could eat for like a week. And today I was able to eat a couple of nut bars and some raw yogurt that I made, and some chicken, and like a real clean chicken and rice frozen dinner. And I don't remember what else, but I had enough like regular, normal protein that I didn't have to eat a protein bar. And oh, and then I ate a lot of slaw, a lot of coleslaw that I made. So I've had a lot of fiber, but it's after several days of not very much fiber. So it probably makes sense that my stomach is a little bit tender, but we'll see if this continues. If it does, I'll report back in a few days and let you know how this thing is. I've heard it kind of helps immunity on multiple fronts, and at this point, I'm at a pretty critical point. If I don't find something that helps my immunity, I am going to die pretty soon. There's not much way around it. This has been a pretty scary couple of weeks, seeing how low my immunity is. So, hope this helps as you kind of pick up the breadcrumbs for your own medical things.